Website performance and site speed are two critical components to successful web search ranking, but an often overlooked aspect that you need to pay attention to is your crawl budget. So what's the crawl budget anyway? I'm glad you asked. The internet is big. The index web is at 5.5 billion pages and counting. That's the equivalent of over 15 petabytes or 3 George R.R. Martin books. That's an incredible amount of pages for Google to crawl every day, especially when we keep in mind that in some cases Google can crawl the same web pages dozens of times per day. Nevertheless, the current speed of internet growth and the rise of valuable content are the main reasons why Google, the biggest leader of technology development, cannot handle crawling all the sources at a sufficient rate. To help manage this problem, we have the crawl budget. To understand the crawl budget, we need to address two things taken into consideration when setting up a crawl budget for a given website: the crawl rate limit and the crawl demand. Let's start with the crawl rate limit. Based on the current server performance of a given website, Googlebot adjusts the number of requests sent to the server and the number of crawl pages. This is the so-called fetching rate. The crawl rate limit is essentially limiting the fetching rate in the event that a website takes too long to respond for a given number of requests. The faster the server's performance, the higher the fetching rate. The slower the server performs, the lower the fetching rate. Since Google is designed to be a good citizen of the web, the whole algorithm has to have a small impact on the user experience, meaning it should not slow the crawled web pages and cause a decline in the user experience. The second basic factor influencing the crawling budget for a given web page is crawl demand. Users are looking for valuable content, so if a given website responds to user requests, then it should be crawled quite often by the bot to maintain its freshness in the index. The popularity of a given domain among users determines the crawling budget. Addresses which are clicked in the result pages quite often have to be fresh, so Google wants to prevent the staleness of the URL addresses in their SERPs. Put those two things together, what you have is the making of a good old-fashioned crawl budget. Whether your website's crawl budget is high or low depends on the popularity of your site and your server's ability to perform, which will help Googlebot determine whether it can and wants to crawl your website. Speaking of budget, that's all the money we have for this video. If you want to know more about this or other technical SEO related subjects, be sure to check out One Leaf blog.